It looks like you're wearing like you're gonna flash someone. You can quite clearly tell there's nothing underneath that onesie. That's how you get viewers. That's how you
Here we go, guys.
The Goldenrod Press OnlyFans. Let's go, bro.
The Goldenrod Press calendar. Let's go.
Oh God.
Give
All
me the summer
right.
months. Need all the help I can get.
We're just trying to get views, guys. We just want views. Alrighty, everybody. Welcome into the latest edition of the Goldenrod Press Challengers League podcast. I am Spartan Tano. I'm joined here today with my friend Chaotic Espion and Robo Retro. How are you doing today, Chaos?
Tired. Long day at work, but it's the weekend now, so let's go.
Valid, mate. 100% valid. I feel that in my bones. Robo, how are you doing today, matey?
I'm also shattered.
Work has been getting the better of us, haven't it?
It's going to be a low energy pod.
Pretty slowly. I'm not high energy, so I mean, people just think the same. No, everything's going well.
I mean, we say it's going to be a low energy pod, but we've got some stuff to talk about that I feel very passionate about. So there's been some changes going on, chat, and I'm not on board with a lot of it. So we'll talk about that. But first, let's have a bit of a reminder of how the new sort of format of this season is going to go. Chaos, do you want to talk us through that one, buddy? Because it's kicking off this weekend, tomorrow, actually.
It's from that on. Yeah, so we have now split all the teams into two separate groups. So we have two groups of four. Each team in that group will play each other twice. Obviously, teams have already played so far, so those fixtures within that group are still going to count towards points totals, etc. But yeah, we're kicking off tomorrow with our first two fixtures from Group A.
It is going to be good. And I think the plan is, right, Group A is going to be playing on the Saturday, Group B is going to be playing on the Sunday moving forward. And I think that's going to be quite interesting. I'm excited to see that. If people find that they're really enjoying a certain group of battles, they know exactly when to tune in. So I like that. I think that's a good decision. But also, we do have a new team joining us from France. I'm going to have to get their team name up again because I feel like I really do not want to butcher this. It's one of those where like I really don't want to butcher it. So I just need to find them. So Casa Flatteur. I've probably definitely butchered that anyway. But yeah, they're joining us from France, and I'm really excited to see them compete because from what I've heard from a certain plush keepers, they're a very solid side.
Yeah, it's because the team that were recommended to us from plush keepers when obviously one of their squads dropped out. They took a game off plush keepers in the qualifiers for the LFPU, was it?
Yeah.
So I got that acronym right. Let's go. Yes, I'm excited to see what they can bring. Honestly, I've not seen too many of their players around, so it's going to be a little bit of an unknown.
I feel like it's such a British thing to just butcher names. Like it's just what we do. So you know, we do send apologies if we get any of it wrong. Intergovernmentalizations, I feel like I can ring off the tongue quite easily, but you know, yeah. I feel like I've got that one down now, mate. But we'll see how it goes with Casa Flatteur as we cast them. I think it'll be you and me casting them first, Robo, possibly.
Say their name. I'm not even going to attempt it.
Yeah, just take it from me, mate. Hey, it's a British thing. We hold our hands up. We are ignorant. We have terrible accents, and we'll be the first to admit it. But you know. Awesome new way that we're going to be doing the tournament. Awesome new team joining us, so it's going to be very exciting. You're not going to want to miss it, chat. It's going to be intense as well because it does mean that the league's going to end pretty much near the end of October, right, Chaos? So it does mean it's really intense action quite quickly.
Yes, we wanted to cut it down a bit because obviously the league was previously ending sort of mid-December, which isn't ideal with UCS starting in November. So yeah, we could get the league done and dusted by the time UCS rolls around. But yeah, it's going to be intense for the teams. There's not going to be too many buys, and there's a couple in Group B. Yeah, it's going to be games every single week.
Nice. That's what we like to hear. What we don't like to hear, we're going to move on to it next, is these most recent patch notes. I don't know if people have seen these or had much chance to read them. They came out today, I believe, and yeah, it's been a bit ridiculous is the word that I'll use. Let's have a look at them here, chat. So as we go down them.
This is the first time I've seen these, by the way.
Yes, yeah, it's worth stating that this is technically a live reaction from most of us. I've seen on Twitter today the announcements of the biggest issues people have, but I haven't actually read all the notes or read any of them myself. So this is going to be a live reaction for you all. And the first thing I see is the new battle item added, Goal Hacker. I mean, what? What's it do to the goal? Does it say?
It weakens shields and healing of enemy goals and strengthens it on your side for 4 seconds, I think it was. So it's a niche item, but it's going to be really cool for some tanks and supports that kind of have difficulty with their item choices, because things like Comfy, for example, and it runs slow smoke and X attack all the time. I think it's going to be a good option for a Comfy is to pop it on a pad and have its carry dive. Something like a Snorlax as well doesn't benefit too highly from its battle item. It can just heavy slam into a pad and start a team fight. I know it's going to be kind of interesting, but I don't think it's going to be sort of meta defining.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, I feel like they are obviously moving more towards, I mean, it's not going to be ranked, but, you know, the Chinese versions come into the game with the whole score comp, or at least, you know, that whole move is based on scoring in that game mode. So, you know, we've had a lot of rumors from people, a lot of conversations with people that may be the route they want to take Pokemon Unite. So adding items like this already kind of just solidifies that a little bit more for me.
Yeah, but the thing with the item is it doesn't really help for scoring too much. It doesn't like decrease the score time or anything like that. It's literally just the shields and the health regen, which I guess inadvertently does help with the scoring, but it's not going to be like the main focus of that item. It's about clearing a path for your team. Okay. But no, I think that the goal scoring mode that's coming from the Chinese version, it's from what we've seen so far, it's not going to be in ranked. It's going to be like a standard battle. It'd be interesting to see if that comes in, because I'm not 100% about it.
Well, I had a couple of conversations with some of the other casters, and they were very much on the side of that's where it's going to end up as an entire game. I mean, I was having a chat with Zoinks, and we were feeling like, you know, we think that's where it's probably going to end up. So, but, you know, we're guessing. We don't know for certain. But the other thing is, obviously, this Sylveon Hollowware. Now, I don't know if you've seen it, chat, or if, you know, I don't know if you have Robo or Chaos, but it looked amazing. I had discussions about it on the community games last week, because whilst it does look amazing, I feel like it was going to be very expensive, and it didn't really add to, like, because you've got the purple skins, haven't you, really, that change quite a lot, and I don't feel like the difference between that and the orange skin were that big, or at least from the battle pass skin, and we thought it was going to be like 60-70 quid to buy this, which is crazy.
I think someone tweeted it's roughly like $100 worth of gems, which is fucking ludicrous, man. Like, it's a cosmetic item. They have to make it incredible if they want to. Like, I don't care about them bringing out premium skins to try and get a bit of extra income for the game. That's fine, and people will support it. But it has to be fucking spectacular for $100, not just a little dress with a few scoring animations. Like, nah, it's not for me, man.
Be A9. What's that skin?
See, I bought that one. It's like the Sacred Style, isn't it, Robo? I bought that one. It was about, I mean, I had like discounts and all that, so I got it for like 20 quid. But it was meant to be about like 40 quid, I think. Which, you know, obviously for our American audience.
I do think it is a great skin. I think it's one of the best skins they've made, personally.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, right, I was full in on Pokemon Unite at that stage. It was the main game I was playing. I was playing it more than any other game. So in my opinion, I was playing it enough for me to be like, yeah, I want to spend money on this game. I'm happy with that. But when you compare it to other games, I don't know if anyone's ever played Smite, but £40 on Smite would buy you like 3 legendary skins and a pack of like 10-20 skins that you'd get that were lower than legendary, that were still pretty decent, for 40 quid. It's getting...
I mean,
go on, buddy.
Value for money. Like, isn't Smite Smite you can buy like every single hero for like £30? I know,
yes,
but like that is value for money. Like,
yeah,
Unite that they do themselves out of business.
Yeah, that was something that me and Super T spoke about. Like when the game first came out, we were having a conversation on YouTube. Smite does that where it's like 30 quid or something, and you get every single hero as well as any others that come to the game, like just for that one-off payment, and you get like some skins in it as well. They're not amazing, but still, that was amazing value for money. And it's just with these changes and with what's happening, and we'll talk about even further down. Like Pokemon Unite is not value for money, and they seem to be doing everything to not be value for money. It's like everything they're doing is just these practices that are just trying to get as much money out of their customer base as they can, and I'm not on board.
Mate, I just don't get what's going through the head of the people running Unite and the development and the decision making at the moment. It's ridiculous. Like, they took one massive step forward of listening to the community and taking the EX tags off Mons and bringing them more into line, because I know Pokemon, they love their cover arts, they do it in VGC, they've changed VGC to a point where every single year the format changes month to month because they want to include all the Ubers and that kind of thing, and that's great, include all the Ubers, but we don't want to build a team around a big, one powerful, legendary Mon that's going to carry the entire game. So they listened to us there and they changed it, great. But everything they're doing since, it's just like massive steps backwards. Like, this is just ridiculous. So a skin for $100. What they're doing with like Holland and Belgium, just because they can't make money out of them, is a joke. And it's like, I don't know if you watch like Zoinks and Zoinks' podcast. He had Doobs on it ages ago, and there was a clip going around where Doobs gave like a really passionate speech about if you want United to do well, because people care about this game, they want it to do well and elevate and give people prize money that they actually deserve. And it's like, if he was saying, if you want, you know, United to do well, you need to get to the event, you need to scream, you need to make noise, you need to tune into the streams. But shit like this is turning people like off the game. I don't get how we can't see it. Like, I'm seeing a discussion on Twitch where it's going around like saying, "Oh, when you go into a rank game, just ban Sylveon immediately, so people can't play with it because of the skin as a protest." I don't know. It's just shit like this. But it just kills games, man.
It's difficult because it's with free-to-play games. You have to accept that they're going to add some ludicrous prices. But I think what you said was right in terms of they're happy to listen and make things right, and then they just go so like they move the goalposts in some of the decisions they make.
It's not even just that, but it's like the membership fee as well. Like, they completely ruined the membership because that was really good value for money. Maybe too good value for money for a free-to-play game. It was like, what, £8 a month for
that's what it was.
the skin and stuff like that. But like, why can't they just? I know they had to dial it down a bit, but they could do something like you said with Smite, with that membership, where you pay a membership each month, you get all the licenses. Don't give you any skins, maybe gives you some gems as well on top of it, like what we have now, but it's more of a subscription-based game, and that still keeps the money flowing in. I don't think people complain too much about that. But when they're releasing skins for £100 and then taking the game out of countries because they can't make money off it, it's, I don't know, it's daft.
Yeah.
The problem is people spend the money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's the same with like FIFA, for example. You see it every year, people complaining about how crap the game is because it comes out bugged. But then on the other hand, you've got all the content creators spending thousands and thousands of pounds a month on the game and keeping it alive. It's like,
this is it. It's the nature of free play games. If you're going to spend the money, they're going to keep doing it. And sorry, go on, Tanner.
Well, the thing is, right? I know that Pokemon Unite it's a MOBA, but they don't really want to treat it as a MOBA because it's Pokemon, and they want to attract that kind of, you know, audience that loves Pokemon. But even if you remotely put this MOBA in line with other MOBAs, especially when it comes to value for money, mate, like, I don't think they needed to do much to the monthly subscription. Like, yeah, it was great value for money. Leave it as that. Like, there's other MOBAs out there that give even more value for money than this one does by a massive mile. Even League of Legends, mate, which is, like, without a doubt the biggest game in the world, the most toxic game in the world as well. But even they do sometimes provide good value for money, especially when it comes to skins. Pokemon Unite just seem to want to do everything that isn't value for their customers. Like, they'll listen to us about EX Mons, they'll listen to us about providing more like frequent data updates and that kind of stuff that we've been asking for forever, but then just do this kind of stuff that is just really vindicative to their player base, just to try and get whatever little bit of money they can out of them. I used to pay that monthly membership every single month, mate. I cancelled it in September because I was like, I've got this for the gems because I want to buy skins. And let's face it, getting skins is not hurting Pokemon Unite in any way at all. They could just give them away. Like, we've got how many currencies in Pokemon Unite that we can't freaking use because there's nothing else to spend on them? I have like 1,000,000 fashion tickets, bro. I'm loaded in fucking fashion tickets and I can't do anything with them. Like,
I mean, I kept my subscription literally so I could save replays for my team, but that's like a feature that is probably available in every single
without a
game
doubt.
that's out there for free.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a feature.
Every MOBA has it, mate. Like, you can literally go back and watch the entire game and download it and save it without paying a single thing. It's like an easy game, and not even just on, like, I know this is the Switch and mobile, but like, you know, on, if you're playing MOBAs on console, on Xbox or PlayStation or whatever, you can do that. You can go back, watch your game and download any part that you want, but they don't charge you for it. And it's just, Pokemon has such like an addiction to trying to get so much money out of people. They do it across all of their franchises. It's not just Unite, they do it in VGC, they do it in TCG, and it's just so frustrating. I think people are really getting to the end of the tether with Pokemon Unite on this, and they're just going to turn people away, which is what you mentioned earlier, Chaos, and I think that is it. Fair enough to Doof Snacks. People did show up to Worlds. It had the biggest viewership it's ever had as Pokemon Unite. It was well up there with TCG and VGC. People showed up and they cheered for their teams, and this is just a spit in the face to what we've done to really support esports on the scene of Pokemon Unite, in my opinion.
The thing is, I don't get the line about, you said earlier that they don't want to treat it like a MOBA because it's Pokemon and all that sort of stuff. I don't get the harm in it. Like, I'm someone who'd never put, well, apart from maybe 20 games on Arena of Valor because I had a really good phone and wanted to test it out. Like, I'd like 20 games on a MOBA before playing Pokemon Unite.
Yeah.
Never really touched MOBA, never really cared for them. And now literally Unite is a thing that, until recently, it's all I played. And like, I know so many people who are like that, so they've got the Pokemon fans in. Like, this game would be dead in the water if it didn't have anything to do with Pokemon. It literally would. It would have died the second they had that meta where it was the Mew, Mime, Glaceon meta. That the game would just be dead from there if it was anything but Pokemon.
You're so right, mate. So many times I've had that opinion, and I'm sure you're the same, Robo. Like, you know, if this game wasn't Pokemon, I would not be playing it.
I think MOBA is a really hard genre to get into and succeed because we're talking about League of Legends, there's Dota, there's Smite. Their games have been around a long time, and they're probably going to be around for a very long time, you know, past today. But like, there have been some really cracking MOBAs that will follow the I don't know, the formula to what a good MOBA should be. Follow the right sort of, like Blizzard had Heroes of the Storm. I loved that game when it came out. It was fine. There wasn't really any like scummy practices. There was Total War Arena. Total War was one of the biggest titles created for Assembly Sega for the RTS genre, and they couldn't crack it. There was a Lord of the Rings game, which I loved, and this is like Xbox 360 days. Couldn't crack it. So I think.
But the thing is, like, with this game, they could follow the example set by Dota and League of Legends because they've got one huge advantage, which is probably the most profitable IP in the world in Pokemon. Like, you cannot compete with Pokemon in any way, shape, or form, and it's the only way this game. Well, it's the only way this game is still alive and would have succeeded following that route. Because, like, you think of Heroes of the Storm. Before I got into Unite, never heard of it. I'd heard of League of Legends, heard of Dota, never heard of Heroes of the Storm. Couldn't name a single character. And the same goes on for all the other ones that you mentioned. Whereas with Pokemon Unite, even if I wasn't looking at MOBAs or whatever, I could name probably every single character that's in it.
Yeah,
that's the way you saw it. That's why they can do what they do. You know, it's like, oh, they've only done it because of Pokemon. But they can do it because it's Pokemon. You know, anyway, this is we're meant to be doing the patch notes, are we? Shall we?
Mate, I know it's an intense moment to have a tense discussion to be having across the whole community chat. If you've got an opinion on it, let us know in the comments. You can write into us. It's newsdesk at something. Is it, Chaos? Give us the email address.
Yeah, newsdesk at goldenrodpress.com.
That's the one. Write into us. Let us know what your opinions are, or drop it in the comments, whatever. We'll continue with these patch notes. We've had a hearty discussion on that.
this though. We should definitely come back to this at another podcast because there's so much we can talk about.
We will, mate. We will, and I think it's important for us to keep close, discussion and close eyes on how these practices that they're bringing in or changing affect how we feel this game is performing. And we'll speak about it, further on down the podcast as well. We'll keep an eye on it, because I think you're absolutely right, mate. It's very important, and we've got a lot more to say. But let's not continue with it in this podcast because we have more to be going through. So, buffed items, buddy. Goal Getter, Slow Smoke, and Fluffy Tail. I mean, as a Saberlight player, you are on board with that, right?
Mate, you've seen me play all three of those items, not just on Saberlight, but like Goal Getter, I'll run on fucking anything just to take the piss. Slow Smoke, not as much. I'm not too moved by its buff. It's like 5 seconds. Fluffy Tail as well, about 3 seconds. It's not a big difference, but Goal Getter's
15
it's kind of interesting. I don't like it on Sableye because his whole kit, in terms of his invisibility, is designed to help him back up anyway. And I feel like if you have enough experience on the Mon and you're looking at your minimap, you don't need a Goal Getter. But on other Mons, I don't know, maybe it becomes a bit more of an interesting item choice. Again, I don't think it's going to change anything. I think we're still going to see all the usual items, your eject button, your X speed, your X attack, etc.
Well, yeah, I mean, moving on to those ones, nerfed items. This is my third, well, probably my second biggest gripe with these patches. We've already gone through the first one. Eject button and X attack being nerfed because they have high win rates. I mean, what? They are fantastic items. They do their job fantastically well, and the reason why people use them is because they are good items. I just think a nerf like this is ridiculous.
I might start an argument here because I actually kind of like the eject button nerf for the same reason I enjoyed the full heal nerf and the reasoning they gave behind it, because their reasoning was literally these items allow Pokemon to paper over cracks and flaws in their character that they were meant to have to make them balanced. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of eject buttons up a lot less frequently, but again, it's 5 seconds. It's not the end of the world.
But they have been nerfing it slowly over time. Like this isn't this isn't the first time. It wasn't eject button originally a 60-second cooldown.
Yeah, mate.
And the fact that they've done that, I can't. You haven't got to scroll up. They've done that in the same time they've buffed Slow Smoke. So what you said about the eject button and the reason behind it, I could not agree with you more. It's the most logical. I do get that. But as a player, firstly, as a speedster, I hate Slow Smoke, and I think Cano will agree with me. But Slow Smoke, I like the design of it. I like the idea of why they implement it in the game. But it is one of the most frustrating things to play against. There's nothing more annoying than somebody spamming Slow Smoke. For a game that's meant to be a really quick-paced 10-minute game, having them 3 seconds of slow feels like an eternity. And they are definitely trying to push, as you say, get rid of the eject, and annoyingly they're going to start pushing the Slow Smoke, which
this is it, mate. I already feel like Pokemon Unite has a massive amount of CC in it. Okay, it does, and it's ridiculous. But the reason why I really dislike the eject button one is because to me it feels like they're taking the opinion of our other battle items are not being used, so let's nerf the good ones so the other ones get used more. And I don't like that frame of mind to have as a developer. I feel like battle items not too bad. Held items, there's a lot that needs actually changing with those, to improve them or even get them being used. And I don't like the decision to just let's nerf the cooldown on one so that another gets used more.
You're absolutely spot on there. That's exactly why they've done it, because the first thing that came to my mind when we were thinking about eject button being nerfed and not liking Slow Smoke is I was thinking, well, maybe you can use Slow Smoke as an option as an eject button. Like imagine a Pikachu volt tackling, getting its speed boost, dropping a Slow Smoke, running away. Kind of cool. But that's literally the reason they've nerfed this item. They've got a new item coming out. They want people to use different items.
Yeah, and
it keeps it fresh though, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, 5 seconds I don't think is going to be too much for a eject button. It's something that I feel like we need to be really mindful of because I can see it getting worse. And to be honest,
I think it just promotes better microplay. to be honest, and better positioning.
Mate, I'd rather they left the battle items alone and did something with the freaking held items, man. There's about 5 of them that don't get picked up ever.
Yeah, I want a Rocky Helmet boost. I want a massive Rocky Helmet boost.
Like, come on, do something with it. Like, it needs like, it doesn't get used ever. If you're taking the opinion of these items have a high win rate on battle items, so we need to nerf them and improve the ones that don't get used, why do you not do that with held items? Like, you know,
they can't do it with, and this is my theory. They can't do it with Rocky Helmet, Assault Vest. They're leftovers. They're probably the 3 that have just been awful since the beginning. They've never had a place in the game. I don't care what you say. They've never been. You never take any of them over any other items. Like, if you do, then you're not have a great time. The reason why they can't do anything at the moment is because the defender meta is so strong. If they then get defender items and boost them, it's gonna just break the game more than. Imagine a slow bro, or any defender. Imagine any defender with a buffed Rocky Helmet. And it's gonna be unkillable.
I mean, if do reworks, mate. Do you know what I mean? The thing's not being used ever. They clearly don't have an answer for it. They don't know what to do with it. Rework it.
Mate, they're designing a fucking $100 skin. Yeah, they've got time to do a rework on an item.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen a single player using Rocky Helmet without someone laughing at it. Do you know what I mean? Genuinely.
It had one usage that I recall, and that was in Zashi meta on certain mons, like Crustle, for example, because of that extra little chunk of damage. But that's because of how fucking broken that meta was.
Even then, it's a fool's hope because it didn't. You know what I mean? It wasn't enough. You're really clutching at balls if you think your answer to broken Pokemon is slapping on a Rocky Helmet. Even when the bots kick it in a game, you make fun of them. You make fun of the bots. You make the bots feel bad.
Yeah. To be fair, now we're on the subject. Do you remember that mime Glaceon Mew format? Yeah. That's when I started running like Assault Vest on Slowbro, and it actually had mileage because of how broken those 3 mons were. Not because of how good the item was, it's just an extra shield to paper over how fucking stupid those 3 mons were.
That's it though, isn't it? It's insane that you need a meta to really work for those held items to work. Like, it's not the fact that they work really well, it's the fact that the meta they're in is just ridiculously good for them. Like,
you're scraping the barrel. Honestly, you're looking at everything in the game for
just for an advantage. Just
can't use. There's an Assault Vest over there. Let's give that a go and hope that it works.
To spite you, I'm going to throw Assault Vest on a Sylveon with a guard against a full special attack team, and I'm just going to cook.
Valid. Yeah, you have to whap it on your game for us to get.
Yeah, no, there's like you said, Tyler. There are so many things to fix, and they have. Like I was saying, they can't do anything with them items, I don't think, until they fix the defender sort of problem we have. Not the biggest problem, but they do. Yeah, it's going to affect that them and all rounders, them as well.
Yeah,
because we all know how tanky all rounders are. They got until they sort of tune them down. We can't expect anything to happen to them items, and other items that still need buffing as well.
Yeah,
Drain Crown, not the worst item.
Yeah, it's not the worst, but it's still quite niche.
Work better. It could do what it's designed to do. It could do better.
Yeah, I agree, mate. And I don't know, we're gonna have to just see how they come along with it. But we'll move on to these bug fixes, chat, and yeah. Calling this a bug, I think, is ridiculous. They fixed an issue where Serena and Shifu, Rapid Strike style, could use their Unite moves on opponents in an unstoppable status. Now,
is that a bug?
Well, exactly, Robo. They considered that to be a bug, which I think I didn't see a single person in this community that was unhappy with the fact that was added to Serena or Shifu. And I was on board with it. You've got a lot of Unite moves in this game now, or at least some really ridiculously broken ones. You've got the Slowbro, you've got the Mimikyu, you've got the Charizard. I like the fact that they were balancing a couple more on that level, so they had a bit more counterplay to it. I mean, even if Serena ulted Charizard in its ult, it's still in the air, right? It doesn't stop it and bring it back down to the ground. It can still do damage and it's still flying for a little bit. So it's not that broken, and I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what your guys' opinion is on this, because I really like that change.
Go on, you
go. I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit. Serena, for example, have you seen its win rate at the moment?
No.
It's because looking at it now, it's 5th. And it's literally on par with Charizard, Zacian, Gyarados. I don't know. I think they made it a bit too powerful by giving it that change.
I don't think that change
And
makes that much of a difference.
Keeping in mind, I'm just looking at like the stats and stuff, like the pick rate for it is pretty low as well. So it means that you're picking it and you're winning with it. I don't know.
You said it's the 5th highest, but what is the win rate?
50, almost 53.
Is that too?
It's
much?
not. It's not ridiculously high, is it? I mean, most of them are around.
But when you think it's a higher win rate than their new moneymaker of Armor Rouge and their last moneymaker of Cerule Edge, like they care about their money and they want to nerf the strongest mons.
Okay.
But like the thing is as well, Urshifu is the highest win rate mon in the game right now, and I don't know. I don't think it's a bug fix. I think they've nerfed them. I think that's all they've done.
But I don't think this is the reason why those mons are doing so well, mate. I think.
Well, I say I play it as devil's advocate because I don't fucking agree with it. Like, what harm was Serena doing, taking a mon up into the sky like Charizard was? Like, nah, come off it. They will nerf it straight back as soon as this battle passes over.
Yeah.
But market, I guarantee it's going to come back at some point. They can take something into the sky in an unstoppable phase.
I think you're right, mate. Clip that. We'll come back to that. Fixing it. Go on, Robert.
With Serena, so all-rounders are too strong. All-rounders are a problem. I never put Serena in that category. Like you just said, I thought it was meant to do this. I generally didn't think it was a bug. I thought it was an intended thing. I don't think that's the thing that's made him broken. Like I'm surprised to hear that Serena's 5th. I'm trying to think what the other buffs were.
I think it's just.
It was just for Unite move. It was literally just for Unite move.
Yeah.
Serena was a popular Pokemon at one point. I mean,
yeah, and it's therefore not as popular as it used to be, mate. But I just think people have skill on Serena. Serena's one of those mons that really does show skill expression. Like people, I've seen some make cracked Serena players, and I think people just enjoy that mon so much because it is a popular mon. And I think
it's so popular in Japan as well. Every single time that we've let our queue go beyond like the 2-minute mark, and we end up in Japan. It's always a Japanese team with Serena on it, without fucking fail.
Yeah,
constantly picked.
It's popular and people enjoy it because you can express skill on it and they're so good on it. And I think that's just the reason why Serena's doing so well in this meta. And it's not the only all-rounder that's going under the radar right now, chat. I mean, Metagross, for example, is a very good all-rounder, but because it's not Cerulege, it's not Mimikyu, it's not Blaziken, do you know what I mean? People aren't seeing it as broken or anything like that, but it is a mon again where you can do really well on it if you know how to you understand the micro of that mon.
Garchomp.
Garchomp.
There's your example. I mean, you think of teams, I don't think they're together anymore, but Squishy Squad. What they could do with a Garchomp, they can it's insane. But yeah. I'm gonna take a turn being devil's advocate. You said something there interesting. You say Serena's big in
Japan.
Japan. I know that Garchomp's big in Brazil. Don't ask me how I know that, but it's definitely.
I feel like he's making this shit up, man.
All right, we need a fact checker in here, chat.
Gudra's big in fucking Australasia. Like, I mean, come on.
No. When we done the PUCL, we were a Brazilian team, and what we was talking to them about it, and it turns out that they were telling the truth. Anyway, do you think maybe there's something we're not seeing because we don't see Serena's or your Garchomps as much? So do you think maybe we can sort of say, oh, there's not a problem, blah blah blah, but without knowing on the pick how often we're playing against it, do you think maybe we're not as educated?
I think I lean towards more what Tano said about being a skillful mon. It's like I feel like people have just played Serena so much because it's been in the game so long. It's got a much higher skill ceiling than most of the all-rounders out there. Like something like a Gyarados is literally you dive on something, you press A and occasionally throw a spell. Serena's not like that. It's super technical, a bit like Lucario. Like, you know the difference between playing against a good Serena and Lucario player compared to playing against like a good Buzzwole or something like that. I just feel like they've just got a high skill ceiling in Japan, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have regional differences, Robo. You are right in a sense that like it's gonna be a very popular mon over in that region, whereas we won't see it as much. But it 100% is a mon that has good skill expression, and I think that will happen regularly. I mean, you see in the when you watch the Japanese tournaments, we've seen it previously. We saw it last year. Dragonite was used so much in Japan as well. They absolutely cooked with it. They weren't bothered about Zoroark. We see Zoroark in the EU region like so much, especially paired with a strong support. They're not bothered about it in those other regions. So you do have that kind of regional divide that you mentioned. That is 100% right, mate. But I genuinely do think Serena is just a really skill expressive mon. Which is why that win rate's so high.
The most recent example, though, is Zeraora at Worlds. Like
Yeah.
you see little Timmy playing ranked on his dad's account playing Zeraora, and it's trash. I mean, you see these pro players taking Zeraora and like dragging people with discharge and stuff like that. It's just insane.
Zero.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we talk about speedsters and more, and we can actually just like indulge.
Well, we'll have a week to speedsters, mate, just so you and me can rant about it. But I mean, we move on to this will be the last issue we talk about. And to be honest, to me, it just makes sense. They fixed an issue where certain Pokemon like Umbreon and Mimikyu could become invulnerable to damage. Well, yeah.
No, I'm not happy about that. Make them invulnerable the entire
Hang
game.
Out of order.
Indestructible. I want them indestructible.
Why have they not fixed the Inteleon bug though? You know, that
to reward shit players that are dying early.
So, yeah, right now, if Inteleon, the first time Inteleon dies, after that, every single crit gets plus 30%. On Inteleon, a mon that already has ridiculous crit.
No, it's fine. We don't talk about that. Fine. There's no. That's no. It's intentional. Like Serena and Shifu, intentional.
Yeah, so true, mate. All right, I mean, they're the patch notes, chat. I mean, we were on that for a while. We had a lot to discuss and a lot to rant about. But I guess, yeah, the other thing we were going to discuss was the difference between the whole, them deciding Netherlands and Belgium, they were no longer going to be in, which, you know, we've kind of already touched on that, Cass. We've been quite negative to Pokemon Unite on this podcast. We do want to say we do love this game. We have a deep passion for Pokemon Unite. We love it very much. So, you know, don't come away from this podcast thinking, yeah, we freaking hate Pokemon Unite. Why do we even play this game? We may say that sometimes in our solo UQ, but we do love it.
It's why we rant about it, though. Like,
yeah,
things like this kill this game off, and we don't want to see that happen.
I think it's healthy that we're able to have these conversations, but people listening and you know the three of us, we all know that we still love the game. We love Pokemon. We love everything about it. But you know, you have to be able to have these conversations. You can't just sweep it under the rug every patch. About you know.
I don't know. I can hear representatives from Timmy shuffling around in my yard as we speak.
Mate, they're coming for us. We're gonna get sued, bruh. You better get
skip 1 week where one of us is being dragged off by like masked men or something.
Better get your lawyers ready, bro. We're gonna need them. But yeah, thanks for the raid, by the way, Top Gun. I was on the I was on the Google, so I didn't see you coming in, buddy. But yeah, let's talk about, I mean, very quickly, Belgium and the whole situation going on in the Netherlands. I think Pokemon Unite, I mean, we're going to say it's a rumor. I haven't seen it officially yet. I've seen some screenshots on Twitter from what people are saying, our accounts in that region being told that they're no longer going to be supporting that region and it's going to be closing down. But I know that we've had some things where people are saying that it's just certain things that are going to be closing down in the game. But either or, it's a pretty ridiculous decision because it sounds like the reason they're doing it is that they've passed some new laws there that are against loot boxes and the way that, you know, people spend money in a game and microtransactions. So they're kind of like, okay, well, let's not support that country because of that. I'm sorry, what?
I don't know. More chocolate, more street waffles, less Pokemon.
Alright, well, that's that discussion over with.
Done. That's all we need. Summed up.
Yeah, I mean...
No, I think everyone's feelings on that's completely the same.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think anyone's supporting it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things where, like, nobody's on board with it, and I don't think there's much more that we need to say about it, chat, because, yeah, it is just... Crap is the word that we're going to use. Crap. Alright.
Do we have a segment this week?
So what we're gonna do is create a tier list, chat. Everybody loves Pokemon Unite tier list. Let's freaking go. We're going to create one just on where we think certain, like, we're going to do it per role and where we think those mons.
And do not put a fucking B+ tier in. I hate watching these tier lists and it's like, oh, it's not quite a B, but it's not quite... No, it's a B or a fucking A, mate.
Yeah.
Fraggles is going to want to work with you.
we love you, Spraggles.
He hates for B tiers. He hates them. It's cool.
He does.
He'll give me a shout out.
Bro, I don't even know like how to start this tier list. Want to learn? Why do we have like a want to learn thing?
See, we used to call Tano the grandpa of our old team, and this is exactly fucking why.
Professional, like, craftsmanship here. We know what we're doing.
I'm getting bullied now.
Oh.
Oh.
Twitlonger incoming, let's go.
Oh.
Why are you doing that? Chaos. I've got to test your knowledge.
Okay.
Gen 1.
Gen 1.
I'm gonna give you the Pokemon number, the Pokedex entry.
Oh, come on. Oh, the Pokedex entry. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Number. See if you can figure out what Pokemon it is.
Okay.
Right. I'll start easy. Number 6.
One sec. Both sides still being so. It's Charizard, right?
Charizard.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. This is another easy one. 25.
Pikachu.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Pikachu.
All right. A bit harder.
Yeah, puppy.
Okay. Let's go for, because I've actually got up in front of me. Good. I wouldn't know otherwise. Let's do 132. I can give you some clues.
132. Okay, give me one clue.
It's you can eat it.
Oh, okay.
You get that?
Can he eat it?
I mean, technically, you can eat any of them.
I mean, I can eat any of them. They're all creatures. What type is it?
Normal.
Normal type. And I can eat it.
It's very like, giving it some of these.
Can we think Lickitung? But I don't think it is it?
Why do you think they can't eat you?
I can eat it, and it's a normal type.
It's all like.
And it wiggle.
No.
It's not Ditto?
Here we go.
Why would you eat a Ditto? What the fuck's wrong with you?
He's thinking jelly, isn't he?
You got that, didn't you, Tano?
You what?
You got that, didn't you?
I got that, mate. I got that.
Did you fuck? Did you fuck me?
Mate, if you looked at his camera, he was doing all this jelly movement. There's no other Jellymon than.
Yeah, but you can eat it threw me off. Or would you eat basically an embryo?
To be fair, when you said you can eat it, I was thinking of Slowbro because they eat like Slowbro's tail, don't they?
Tail,
yeah, or Magikarp. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the league. Here we go. The league fixture list. Let's move down and see what games we're going to be having this weekend, chat. We can see that, right? Yeah, we can see that. Woo woo. All right, so round 1, Monday, 28th. It's Saturday. Oblivion Gaming versus Casaflutter. I'm intrigued for that game, mate, because we haven't seen the Casaflutter battling out, but Oblivion Gaming have one amazing roster. From what we're seeing, what we're hearing, that's going to be a very strong roster. So I'm very intrigued for that game. I'm going to put Oblivion Gaming winning, in my opinion, just because of how well they've been playing, and we haven't seen Casaflutter. I'm going to put 2-1 to Oblivion Gaming, just because if they've taken a game off Plush Keepers in the LFPU, I think they're going to be a strong team. And then we have Misfits versus Team Int. Now, I think Misfits are going to get the 3-0 in that one. I think Misfits have been playing fantastically well now, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get a 3-0 in that game. Batista Gangs versus Plush Keepers. I think Batista Gang are a bit stronger on the Sunday. They're going to be taking the first slot, 7 p.m. CEST. I think 2-1 to Batista's Gang on that one. And then Sunday at 8 p.m. CEST, Arcade Aces versus Mem Ragnarok. Now, I don't know. That's going to be an interesting one. I think Mem are an underrated team. I am going to say 2-1 to Mem Ragnarok on that one.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Come on then. Let's have Chaos and then we'll do Robo.
Yeah, Oblivion. I know we've not seen Casa Flutter and we don't know enough of how they play or how strong they are as a team, but we know Oblivion and we know how strong they are. For me, it depends which roster Oblivion go for, because they've got quite a few players. They've got 2 different rosters pretty much, and they go with whoever's available on the day. I think if they go, to be fair, if they go either roster, I still think it's a 3-0 for Oblivion.
Valid.
I just think they're that strong. Misfits against Team In. I think it depends who plays for Misfits, to be perfectly honest. Like, they've got... I think if you've got Cora playing in that game with, like, Rosum and World, I think that's a very, very comfortable 3-0 for them. If a couple of those players are missing, probably takes it down to a 2-1, but Misfits are so good right now, they still win that set.
Yeah.
Then you've got Bautista's Gang and Plush Keepers. That's super, super close to call. I think I'd probably side with you on that one. I'd say 2-1 to Bautista's Gang, just from what we've seen so far in the league. Then myself with Arcade Aces and Mem Ragnarok. Yeah, things haven't been going too well for us recently. Both in the league and away from it. I'm predicting a 3-0 for Mem Ragnarok.
Okay. Robo, what you got for us, buddy?
Right.
Right, listen up. This is how it's gonna go. This is how it's gonna go.
Right, we're worried about time. Let's just list this off nice and quick. Oblivion 3-0. I'm saying that because I know Oblivion. I don't know this new team. So yeah, 3-0. Misfits 3-0. Look how well they're doing in the league. Yeah. Bautista Gang will win 2-1, I think. And the last one's going to be a difficult one. I'm going to go 2-1 Mem Ragnarok. I think that's a fair prediction.
Okay. Pretty similar across the board for 3 of us there then, realistically.
It's hilarious you've both gone 2-1 Mem Ragnarok, and then Rover said, it's a fair prediction. The guy who plays for Arcade Aces is like, no, it's going to be fucking 3-0 for Mem. It's going to be 1,000 points each game. The games will be closer, but
it's
things
not Ray, mate.
not going well. Well, it's always been Ray. Yeah. But then I'm still going to stick with the 3-0, but just to caveat it a little bit, the criticism I guess me and you had on cast of Mem was that how indecisive they were. It was literally like watching my team play Ray. Like I could imagine we're just going to be dancing around for Ray Pit, doing some sort of ritual dance around it in a circle.
Like a rain dance. So true, mate. They were very hesitant, so let's keep a close eye on that this week, chat. But yes, this has been a long podcast episode, but we have had a lot of fun. We had a good rant about the patch notes. We've had a good tier list thrown out there, and obviously we went through the process of the league moving forward. So it's been a blast speaking to you all. I've really enjoyed it. Again, Spartan Tano here. I've got my good friend Chaotic Espion, and of course Robo Retro. We will be going... friend. We're not good friends anymore, apparently.
That's so harsh.
This is because I put Delphox in the S tier, bro. But yeah, that's been us, guys. We're going to get off now. So thanks for listening. Wherever you are listening to us, you can catch us on Spotify. You can catch us on YouTube. Write into us at newsdesk@goldenrodpress.com. And I'll put that email on the screen. And yeah, it's been a blast, guys. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And we'll catch you on the games this weekend or on the potty next week. Bye.
Bye.